Sometimes Donald Trump has to give up on his own story, even running from a classic campaign pledge.
We will build a great wall, and Mexico will pay for the wall.
The cliche is campaign in poetry, govern in prose. For Trump, apparently it was campaign on Mexico buying the wall and govern on America buying the wall. But by the way, maybe it's not a wall and it's more of an ongoing renovation.
The wall will come later. We're right now renovating large sections of wall, massive sections, making it brand new. We're doing a lot of renovation. We're building 4 different samples of the wall to see which one we're going to choose. And the wall is going to be built. It'll be funded a little bit later.
And as we reported on The Beat, those renovations are from Obama and Bush-era projects, not the Trump administration. Today's New York Times suggests on the front page, Trump's following an immigration agenda increasingly set by Democrats. Was this always Trump's plan, though, just promise a wall that would never get built? We answer that question tonight by turning to a special segment. First on The Beat, I'm joined by an executive who worked with Trump for 18 years, even overseeing construction of Trump Tower and watching Trump pitch other long-shot construction projects, some of which never became reality. I'm joined now by Barbara Ress, former executive vice president at the Trump Organization. Thank you for being here.
My pleasure. Thank you.
When you see him promise this much on the wall and then keep moving the goalposts, is it consistent with what he was like in business or different?
Well, it's consistent to an extent. Lots of times he did what was expedient or what was necessary to win over what he was trying to accomplish. So he would move along as time went on. The clear example in my mind is on the West Side Yards when he was going to do a project there. We were going to do a different project, and he ended up making a deal with the local people who were objecting to this project. And they came up with this plan for like a wall of buildings along the river. But the problem was there was the West Side Highway there. So, you didn't see the buildings from the river. You saw the West Side Highway, the buildings behind it. So they decided that they would put the buildings, they would bring the West Side Highway in under the buildings and make this beautiful landscaped area with the
Big
buildings.
promise.
Yes. And
Didn't happen.
no one ever thought it would happen. It was.
Did he think it would happen?
No.
He knew.
Of course.
Let me read from, I believe, that same story here. Even Mr. Trump, who once called himself the #1 fan of getting the highway down, what you're talking about, this big idea, now says he'd actually be better off economically and logistically if it remained in place.
Yeah, well, yeah. So, I mean, it was what the people wanted to, he thought the people wanted to hear. And, he wasn't alone on that. I think the people in the Planning Commission also knew this was never going to happen.
So is this like a bubble that never pops? Or in your experience around Donald Trump, does it eventually pop?
It depends. Sometimes he really starts out wanting to do something and thinks he's going to accomplish it and then, has to back away from it. But sometimes he does accomplish what he says he's going to do. With the wall in Mexico, he never thought he was going to build that.
Your view of him, and you worked with Trump for 18 years.
Yes.
Whether the wall was serious in his mind or not, you think?
Oh, I don't see how it could possibly have been. I mean, it's ridiculously expensive. It's unnecessary. It's just, it was window dressing. It was something that he could feed to his audience and build the wall. Who's going to pay for it?
Right. Let me ask you this. There's a lot of things that are going on in government that don't get enough attention. I was speaking to you briefly, and we were talking about the appointment of new federal prosecutors because he fired them all.
Right.
Let me put a pie chart up and show everyone, based on gender, this is the breakdown of Donald Trump's appointments to be prosecutors. You're a woman who was a high-level executive. What do you think of that?
I don't think that's Donald, to be honest with you.
But that is Donald, because those are his appointments.
Yes, they're his appointments, but I don't think he dictated, I don't want any women on attorneys and working for the government. He used to hire, I mean, I don't know about now, but he used to hire very strong women.
So he's just letting other people call the shots on those appointments?
I think that he's just pandering, whatever you want, just give me what I want and you can go ahead and do it. And he does have a very sexist group, with
around
some of the things that they've done, yeah.
Final question, Barbara, because you have such an interesting front row seat to what is now history in the making.
I know, it's amazing.
Did you ever think during those 18 years that he would become president?
No, absolutely not. He talked about it once in a while, and it was kind of like a joke among the group. But then I never thought that any person without any political ability would be running for president, maybe governor or something.
Right. Well, did it turn out to be a joke? Or is this real? Was this happening? We're not a movie, right?
No, I'm afraid this is
Okay.
real. We have to make the best of it.
That's a great point to end on. I should end all my interviews by asking, is this real? Barbara, thank you
Thank
so
you.
much
It was
for
very
coming in. I
nice.
really appreciate it.